Good morning, everyone. So when I was thinking about the themes of this year's Stewardship campaign, I was reminded of a principle in biology called phototropism. If you're a gardener, if you remember anything from your biology classes in school, you know that plants grow in response to light. Most of them grow in the direction of light to maximize their potential for photosynthesis. Sunflowers are probably the most well-known for this. As they are growing, before they reach maturity, they will turn their heads toward the sun and follow it throughout the day. But even most houseplants will grow in the direction of a nearby lamp or window. I feel like since I started coming to St. Andrews in 2023, I have been growing toward the light this place radiates every day. It's not to suggest that my life before first coming to my first service was in darkness, but I did feel like something was missing. I'm not originally from Ann Arbor. I don't have family here, but I had fallen in love with the city when I moved to the area after graduating from college. So much so that after I'd been away for a few years, I decided to move back. Because of the sometimes transient nature of this city, it seemed like everyone I'd known from my immediate post-grad years that had lived here had moved on. Most of them had finished their grad school themselves, moved away to jobs elsewhere. Some had settled down and were busy with families. And before long, I'd realized that I didn't really know anybody in the area anymore. And that became kind of crystal clear during one particularly nasty bout of illness that turned out to be my first and thankfully only experience with COVID-19. The only person I knew well enough in town that I could call in some sort of emergency was my boss at the time, and that was not a bridge I was willing to cross. I knew that I had to find some sort of community, somewhere I could make connections and put down roots. That way, I would feel like I'd have a community and not just somewhere I lived. I knew that churches would be a good place to find that, but I hadn't regularly attended church since I was in middle school, so I thought it would be a bit strange, especially because spiritually, and I'm really sorry to stretch the plant analogies here, but spiritually I was in the weeds. On the other hand, I thought if I'd gone and decided I didn't like it, realistically I would only be out a few hours and the negligible amount of gas it takes to get here from my apartment. I can't say for sure what brought me to my first service, but it also happened to be Reverend Rollins' last. I enjoyed his sermon and thought it spoke to something that I was looking for, and I thought it was very moving. It made me feel like this was the kind of place I could fit in with, but he was moving on, so what was the point of coming back? I don't know what it was, but something did draw me back, and I thank God for that every day. Since joining this church, I feels like I've been growing away I hadn't really expected to in my 30s. I've joined the choir, I've joined Coventry suppers, I've gone to Father Paul's evening lectures, I've talked to people at coffee hour, I've started doing the evensong ministry, the drama ministry, and I was given the honor to represent St. Andrews at Diocesan Convention 2 weeks ago. I feel like doing all these things has helped me grow connections and put down roots in a way that I hadn't been able to before. All of these things and more, everything this church does is supported in large part by pledges from the congregation during the annual pledge campaign. I started contributing last year because of how important St. Andrews had become to me. I admit that I am not able to give as much as I would like to, but that's okay. I know that the vestry, the staff, and the stewardship committee is incredibly grateful for each and every pledge, because each and every pledge helps us all to grow in the light of St. Andrews. Thank you.